The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums,
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
and welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. Glad that you all can make it today. As of right now, as you see, I'm solo dolo, but you know, I'm the one that's always here for you all. Y'all know that. But 7:45, we will have Mr. Keith Vasquez. He's going to join us to talk about two historic events that are happening during Super Bowl week. February 4th, the Native Youth Foundation will be hosting a Walk of Generations fashion show. And then the day after, the 5th, they also will be hosting the first ever Indigenous girls celebrity flag football game at Tad Gormley Stadium. So look out for that. Go to it, watch it, have a great time. This is something big. We're going to talk to him in a little bit about it. 8:20, Coach Jonathan McClinton, the head coach of the Zachary boys basketball team, he's going to join us to talk about his coaching career, also to talk about his team. And this Friday night is a big one, big time game at Archbishop Shaw this Friday night. It's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. It could start a little earlier if the JV game finishes earlier than that. So, big game happening in Marrero, Louisiana. I don't know where VK is. I don't know where George is, but I won't let you down, fans. So, look, uh, let's talk about the Saints right now. The Saints are still without a head coach. And as of right now, talks are that Kellen Moore is the favorite to become the head coach here at of the New Orleans Saints. So with that being said, he wants to be a head coach, and I totally get it. And he doesn't know when the opportunity of him being a head coach will ever happen again. So why not take the opportunity now? So I cannot blame Kellen Moore for wanting to become the Saints head coach, wanting to be wanting to get the opportunity to be the head coach. But the question is, who would want to be the Saints head coach in this mess that they have? I mean, you are $50 million over the cap. You have one of the oldest football teams in the NFL. So who would want this mess? You got a GM that just doesn't know how to evaluate talent, how to draft talent. None of this right now. This is an organization in shambles. I don't know if this is an organization that wants to win right now. So who would want this? Now, I read about Aaron Glenn, um, and supposedly, this is supposedly from what I read, Aaron Glenn wanted Mickey Loomis out as the GM. Now, if that is true, this really happened. Aaron Glenn, how can you say such a thing? Like, you've never been a head coach. You want to be a head coach, you are with the Jets, but how can you come out and say, I'll be the Saints head coach if you get rid of Mickey Loomis? Uh, I don't know if that's how that works. I understand that we didn't have a GM and maybe they wanted to hire you and ask you for your input, but to come in and say, if it's true, to come in and say that right there, that's crazy to me. I couldn't see myself wanting to be a head coach, and this organization um interviews me, and I say, yeah, I'll take the job, but Mickey Loomis got to go. I don't know how that can work. He's already in place. He's there. I mean, that's strange to me. But then on the other hand, what I also heard, Mickey Loomis wants to keep members of the previous coaching staff. So if you're a head coach, you want to bring in your own staff. That's in high school, that's in college, that's in the pros. You want to bring in your own staff. If you're not allowed to bring in your own staff, then why would you want to be a coach for a particular organization? And if that's been happening in these talks that Mickey Loomis has had with these coaches he's interviewed, no one want to come here. They walking around saying, I can't bring my own staff. I don't know these guys on that staff probably, but I know the people I want on my staff. Those are the guys I trust. If I can't bring in my own staff, why do I want to go coach for this particular organization? I'm just saying, people, put two and two together. Aaron Glenn, if he said Mickey Loomis has to go, I'll take the job. If that's true, I don't know how you can do that looking for a job. If Mickey Loomis is telling people that they cannot bring in their own staff, no one ain't gonna want that job. I mean, think about it. I already said the Saints organization is in shambles. 50 million over the cap, one of the oldest rosters in the league. I mean, who wants this headache? Who wants this headache? You can't get the player that you want with the cap that high. I don't know what you want to do. What can you do? But let's get to Kellen Moore. All right. Kellen Moore has done fabulous as the OC with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, let's talk about it. What has he had? A mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts, a great running back in Saquon Barkley, two good receivers in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, a great tight end in Dallas Goedert. That can get you pretty far. Pretty far, those guys. When he was in Dallas, who he had? Dak. Dak's mobile. Not mobile like Jalen Hurts, but he's mobile enough. He had Tony Pollard. He had Ezekiel Elliott. He had CeeDee Lamb. He had some talent on offense. Some real good talent. So he comes here. What does he have? He doesn't have no mobile quarterback at all. Not a quarterback that can get out the pocket and make a play happen. That can get you 5 yards or something. He doesn't have that at all. No mobile quarterback with the Saints. He has Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is 29 years old now. He's going to be 30 next year, I believe. I think he can still get the best out of Alvin Kamara, but we've seen Alvin Kamara for the past couple of years be a little bit of injury prone. So that's another thing to keep in your head. Wide receivers, who do we have? We got Rashid Shaheed, but he's coming off an injury. We have Chris Olave. Yeah, he's had a couple concussions. We got to watch out for him. They need to keep Scantling. That would be great. So, in my mind, to me, Kellen Moore's offense works best with a mobile quarterback. Now, could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be definitely wrong. Kellen Moore could come here to the Saints organization and change things around with Derek Carr. It's it's more than possible. It could definitely happen. But we have to wait and see and give him the opportunity that he deserves as a head coach. We can't sit here and judge. I can look at what I've seen for the past years of him in Dallas and in Philadelphia, but we shall see. Now, Sean Payton was when Sean Payton was here, this was a winning franchise. Sean Payton changed this culture completely. And man, I can't lie. We got spoiled to winning with Sean Payton. We forgot what losing was. As a Saints fan, we totally forgot what losing was here. I love Sean Payton to death, and I wish him well in Denver. He was here for 15 years, long time. He got us a Super Bowl. Wonderful. But what have I said since Dennis Allen was coaching? It is time to get out of the Sean Payton era. It is time for a new change, a new era, a new culture to be built here in New Orleans. And if it's true that Mickey Loomis is telling coaches that he's going to keep members of the previous staff on board, we'll never get out of the Sean Payton era. Or maybe we could. We could. It's that the new head coach has to put their foot down. Has to put their foot down and has to have things run the way that he wants it to be run. Plain and simple. Who would be the defensive coordinator if Kellen Moore is hired? I'm gonna tell you who it's gonna be. Nick Network Prep Report. That gonna be Brendan Staley, the Chargers' former head coach. I promise you, that will be your defensive coordinator. Now, if he can go out and get Robert Sala, that could be nice. But I would think right now it'd be somebody that he worked with while he was in San Diego. That would be Brendan Staley, the former head coach of the San Diego Chargers. That's who I would think would be the defensive coordinator here with the New Orleans Saints. Kellen Moore's gonna run the offense, and I would think he's gonna call the plays himself, just like Sean Payton did when Sean Payton was here. But we just got to give him a chance. We've seen what he's done with playmakers at wide receiver, running back, and at quarterback, especially mobile quarterbacks. We've seen what his offense is capable of. Zimmerman, uh, uh, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still sticking with Brendan Staley. But we have to see what he can do with Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not going anywhere unless the Saints can some kind of way trade him and and that'll help get that salary cap down also. But we have to see. It's a wait and see game. I just don't know who would want this job unless you really just ready to be a head coach and don't want to wait any more longer for the opportunity. If you're ready for it right now and you feel like I gotta take it, then I totally understand it. I totally do. That's kind of like UFC. You know, a lot of the people are teammates. And if your teammate's a champion, you don't really don't want to fight your teammate. But then you get tired of waiting, you gotta do what you gotta do. And that's for championships. So I understand it from Kellen Moore's perspective. If he's ready to be a head coach, jump in the fire pit. That is the New Orleans Saints organization. Got to do it. But time will tell. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Austin Tyler. Yes, this is show number 200, episode 200 of the Hash It Out show. Oh, man, I tell you what, man, 200 shows came by so fast. It's still like, it still feels as if we just started yesterday. So Oh man, thank you, Austin, man. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate everyone who tunes in and watches the show every week, every Tuesday and Wednesday, mostly. But thank y'all so much, man. And I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all. We're gonna take a commercial break, and when we return, we will have Keith Vasquez of Nation Youth Foundation joining us to talk about the two historic events that are happening on February 4th and on February 5th, right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Peppis.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law Firm.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy. The Native Youth Foundation started so they can improve indigenous youth by providing positive, athletic, and educational experiences. Their goals were to provide sports seminars led by professional athletes to indigenous and other youth free of charge. They also wanted to challenge indigenous and other youth to improve themselves physically through exercise and education. They also wanted to make educational, substance abuse, nutritional, and other forms of counseling and advice available through seminars and other educational platforms, and also to make athletic and non-athletic role models available to indigenous and other youth. Next week during Super Bowl week, the Native Youth Foundation is hosting the Walker Generations fashion show in the New Orleans Jazz Market on February 4th. And on February 5th, the first ever Indigenous Celebrity Girls flag football game at Tad Gormley Stadium is happening. Joining us right now is the event sports director of the Native Youth Foundation. We have the one, the only Keith Vasquez. Keith, how you doing? And thanks for joining us.
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great, man. Exciting to hear to be on the 200th episode of the Hash It Out Show. What a blessing. So thank you for honoring me and being that, So we're out here on the field right now, Football is consistency as a coach. So I couldn't cancel practice. I could do the interview during practice. As you can see, the lights are on.
Yeah.
Field's going. So thank you for that introduction. So Native Youth Foundation is a nonprofit that serves indigenous and Native American youth through Southern California through sports and through physical fitness, for better outlets. And we are blessed to be out your way in the great city of New Orleans, where culture is, I think, of all the cities I've been to, at the forefront.
Yeah.
And we've been been blessed with Brandy Liberty from the Luau Group to help us get these venues. Without her assistance in being in New Orleans, a Native American women-owned business, we don't want to make these events happen, right? I can't fly back to New Orleans back and forth to secure venues and all that. So shout out to Brandy and the Luau Group.
So yes, February 4th at the New Orleans Jazz Market, we'll be hosting the Walk of Generation fashion show. And it will highlight our girls, Native American only traveling competitive high school flag football team. They will be walking for indigenous designers, Rebecca Jarvie, who designed for Nike N7, which is a Native American brand for Nike, and also Grammy Award winning designer, Redberry Woman. And with her, the designer, Joe Farrell Photography will be there. And together they have won a Grammy in 2002 for arts and visual culture. So we're bringing a pretty dynamic team down. But the main is forefronting indigenous youth, putting them at the forefront, right?
That's right.
And there'll also be some VIP guests. We got Native American actor Gene Brave Rock coming out. He was in Wonder Woman and I've been in a lot of other Native American movies and series. We also have Che Jim, Indigenous Content Creator of the Year, will be there. We have Levi Horn, former NFL player for the Chicago Bears, will be in attendance. And then we have Defy, a Native American MC from the Navajo Reservation, that will be DJing and playing music. So it's a great day of Native American culture, networking with Native American tribes, and also just youth, putting the youth out front and giving our indigenous youth platforms that they never had.
Definitely. Talk about the formation of the Native Youth Foundation, starting from the ground up.
So this was started by my brother, Johnny Hughes. He's a board member, executive director. He started this 2021 he runs a gym called North County MMA. He's been successful in doing it. One of the only Native American business owners in the city of Escondido for over 15 years. So he does MMA, which includes of boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, Muay Thai. And he wanted to give back. He wanted to give back to the youth and the communities. So he started this nonprofit so he can do free seminars and get donations and sponsorships to put on free workshops for indigenous youth and mainly women, indigenous women, to help them defend themselves with self-defense and help them take care of themselves spiritually and mentally through physical activity. So I already had my football team, California. Let me get on a better light for you. California Indigenous Athletes established a traveling flag football team of boys. At first, 3 teams we had from 12, 10 to 8U. And then, of course, they got older, and then we transformed to 7-on-7 high school. And then we went under my brother's branch because we were always doing food sales and stuff like that because we don't charge our kids any fees.
Mm-hmm.
So any kid that joins our program, they get free uniforms, free travel fees. They have to pay really nothing. We just ask them to participate in fundraising, so that's our goal. Because you know what, traveling to get on a national exposure or to get exposure at a high level, you have to kind of leave your area, right? Go to these national tournaments. And they're not cheap, right? They're not cheap to get into.
No, not at all.
And so we try to not let money be an issue for any kids from the reservations or any kids, any indigenous, football's for all. So we have kids of all minorities play for us. And so that was the goal, was to make the free program, take them out. Yes, we win, we compete, but it's mainly about experience. Taking these kids off the reservation to cities like we've been blessed to take them to Las Vegas. We take them to Chicago. We take them to Arizona, Phoenix, and they have to get on planes, right?
Yeah.
They have to get on their own plane, pack their own luggage. Most of them go without their parents.
So they kind of learn how to be young adults in a way, right?
That's right.
They have to learn to pack their cleats because we can't buy you new cleats in a different city, So
just stuff like that. And then seeing them mature and grow is the best of it. But yeah, that's what the Native Youth Foundation does. And this year we've dabbled into fashion. Native American fashion has been emerging in the forefront these last 5 years. And we've been blessed to go to a couple shows and see what it's done, And from that, we got the inspiration to bring it into our youth here in California.
And we've been grateful to work with people like Rebecca Jarvie, who did a youth workshop with us in July, all off of fashion. So we did one in July with fashion, media, and design.
And then everybody was thinking, how does the media go with the fashion? Well, I kind of didn't see it either, but
You need headshots, right? They need video. They need all that. So
it was cool to see. We had indigenous youth from 8 years old to 24, over 80 youth come out.
they designed their own dresses, shirts. A lot of them got to learn how to do makeup, hair, and then photography.
So in those 2 days, all the youth learned that. And on the third day, they applied it with their own fashion show.
So that was real cool to see. And then we said, why not take it to the biggest week of the year with me being having media credentials. So I'll be inviting you out. You guys will get to hear the Hash Out Show Wednesday or Thursday on Radio Row. If you're not already there, brother,
Okay.
I'll get you a day pass to come through.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been blessed to be in that building.
And you being a media guy,
Yeah, I was a little intimidating last year. I just like to, the way to be honest, is I have gotten day passes, right, just to be in there. And last year they gave us a seat, a table.
Okay.
So now we're interviewing, and it was intimidating. I was in there with the Pat McAfees, the DraftKings.
Oh, wow.
All the yes, and
but you know what was a blessing is
I was nervous, but everybody made me feel at home. By the end of the week, yeah, I felt like not a veteran, but like I knew I could be there. And so this year we've been blessed to be back, and we'll be inviting you out there, give you a platform too.
Definitely, definitely. Let me ask you this question. Let's talk about the Walker Generations fashion show and what is its main highlight?
So its highlight is the indigenous youth. We have youth walking from ages 5 to 18 to 24, because in Native American Indian country, we call it youth is that.
So 24 years old. Mentally, they're not, growing, right? Science says.
So, but they're also going to be walking with
their moms and their grandmas. So generational, I guess, acknowledge to ones who come before us, right?
Yes.
And with Native Americans, all culture, that's big, because us being, the first people of this land, our ancestors had to go through a lot of turmoil. Well, I'm just going to keep it real with you. They try to extinct us, right? The only good Indian is a dead Indian. That was the motto of Andrew Jackson, our president, at one time. So with us still being here, surviving and thriving, it takes us to honor the ones that come before us. And that's what this Walk of Generations is.
We could have these designers that we're bringing out. If you look them up, they're the
top designers, around. They could have easily bought Native American models that are actresses if they wanted to, big name models. But they decided to work with us and highlight the youth and highlight their grandmas and their moms, So this is what the Walk of Generations is about, is highlighting indigenous youth and elders, I guess. Yeah, youth and elders.
Definitely. February 5th.
We've been blessed. What is Brandy, that New Orleans Jazz Market? Man, that venue, we didn't see it in person, but it looks amazing.
It is amazing. It is. It is. Definitely is.
And so one thing we like to share is any locals, we'll have tickets available that day. We'll be giving locals,
a $50 VIP ticket, $25 general admission. Just show your New Orleans ID at that, the door, and we got you guys covered.
There you go.
And any elders, of course, we got elder pricing, like 10, 50, maybe free. Elders always come first. So, we'd love to have all minorities, all ethnicities there to celebrate a day to show we're still thriving and surviving.
Yes, sir. Definitely. February 5th is the first annual Celebrity Girls Flag Football Game. Talk about who's playing and who are some of the coaches.
Okay, so this is another big shout out to the Luau Group and Brandy Liberty. Without her knowing the hometown, we wouldn't have the
legendary Tad Gormley Stadium, right? From what we visited, the Beatles have played there. The stadium's been around since the late 30s, I want to say 40s. We were told it fills up 10 to 15,000 every Friday night for Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Football, yep.
Yeah, so we're excited to be there. So this is what's going on.
I had a bunch of kids' names. Let me get your name again, brother, so I don't call you by the show. I'm sorry.
You good, Jared.
Okay, Jared, my man, Jared. Because here's all the. This is how we build our program. Give you a sneak peek
all right
here. Yeah, so we got the girls, boys, starting young. So yeah, Jared, this is gonna be highlighting our girls flag football team traveling high school. We'll be playing against indigenous celebrities, athletes, and everything. And we got Cameron Lynch, former NFL player, walked on for the Rams and Buccaneers as the head coach for the celebrities.
Okay.
Che Jim, Native American Influencer of the Year. And for all you aunties and ladies out there, he was voted Indigenous Man Sexiest Male of the Year. So he will be there as the assistant coach. And they will be coaching against me, myself, and the one and only legendary Jerry Rice of women's football, Adrian Smith.
Okay.
So Adrian Smith is a women's tackle football professional player, holds all the receiving records, played for Team USA, tackle gold medalist, and is the inventor of Blitz Champ. It is a game that is licensed by all 32 NFL teams. So Adrian is a huge entrepreneur, and she'll be leading the girls CIA team. So we will be playing at Tad Gormley, and our girls will be playing against indigenous athletes, women athletes, business owners, celebrities, models, etc. So it's going to be a fun day. We're going to have a halftime performance by the one and only Pink Rezzers, a traveling indigenous Native American cheerleading group out from Southern California that will be doing our halftime performance. And then we'll do a meet and greet after the game. So after the game, you'll get to meet Levi Horn, NFL player, Cameron Lynch. You'll get to meet Adrian Smith. We'll be giving away free shirts, free bags. Any youth 12 and under are free to the game. So any youth 12 and under. And again, that day, we'll have general admission tickets for $10, VIP field passes for $25.
Okay.
So come by, enjoy the game. And it's mainly to celebrate girls flag football. It is the fastest growing sport in the United States. And they're giving away college scholarships for NAIA division now. So we're really just trying to get that to the forefront to let everybody know how fast it's growing and the opportunities that are being provided by it. Because it will be an Olympic sport in 2028.
What are because that was going into my next question, because flag football for women and girls is growing tremendously. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. My oldest daughter, who's just graduated last year, she's 18, always had to play with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And she was real competitive, played good. And now they started when she's ready to graduate. She's bummed, but I love it. I love the opportunities and how fast it's growing. It's amazing. Here's a little insight. I happen to have some little inside information for some people. They're saying in 6 years, they'll have a league that will be paying just as much as the WNBA for women for flag football.
Good.
Yes. NFL is putting millions of dollars into it. And just another opportunity for women to be at the forefront and to show their athleticism, right? And represent their country. And we're excited to be in New Orleans. You know what, brother? Because I'm finding out the culture and history that us, me, you, our people got a lot of history there from, unfortunately, what our people had been through, right? The connection. Right. The lady, I don't want to get her name wrong, but the lady who did the logo, the NFL did a piece on her, and she gave tributes to the Native Americans, she said, because that's why they do the beating and honor them during Mardi Gras, because they hit out the black ancestors, when both of us, unfortunately, were on the run for our lives, and we helped each other survive.
That's right.
So this is great, right? Getting to do this together, bring us more together at the forefront.
Definitely.
Yes.
Brandy Liberty is a friend of mine, and I remember when she asked me about the stadiums, and I gave her a whole list of stadiums. How much of an impact has she been helping you getting all these events together?
Like, let me say it again, and I can't say it enough. We wouldn't have these events without Brandy Liberty. Brandy Liberty is a South-owned woman business owner, Native American. She is from there. She has tribal descendancy from New Orleans, and she's a single mom.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate. Me and my wife have been together, over 20 years. But I know as Native American women what they put into their kids. So her running a full-time business, being a full-time mom, and then having her time to do this for us is amazing. So, without Brandy Liberty, this don't happen at all. So we're excited to have her walk. Brandy will be walking at the fashion show. So She said, and Brandy's doing this all volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
not a dime she has asked for at all. If she'd asked, we'd give it to her. But yeah, that she just said that's a reward for getting a walk in the show and then seeing these youth, bringing these youth out. That is the reward for her, she says.
That's Brandy. Period. Brandy is a person that will lend out a hand for anyone. That's her. Period. Let
Yeah,
me.
so go ahead, brother.
All right. Let me ask this question because my co-host wasn't able to make it, so he wanted to ask you this: what are your thoughts of Native American mascots in sports and the history of the names?
20 years ago, I would have told you, I don't care. It's football. I love the Redskins. I represent the Red because it represents me, right?
But I was young, dumb, having fun, getting in trouble. Now that I've gotten smarter, more cultured, and I'm glad they changed it. It is offensive, right?
Yeah.
There was a Native American that had a shirt that would wear, and it was when they had the Cleveland Indians, right? And it had the same thing, and it said Caucasians. And he put it on social media, and people were going crazy. And I think that's when it first hit me, like, wow, that is a race, like what they are doing, you know?
Yeah.
When he put it that way, that image. So yeah, no, it is a big thing. I'm glad they're making the change, but you're always gonna find your ignorance of people, right?
That's right.
That down to a name. But I guess the best way I've come to explain it is that way is, would you like to be called the New Orleans Crackers or the New Orleans? You know, I don't want to get more racial terms, but you
Right.
get where I'm going with
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel the mascots, unless they're like the Seminole tribe, the Florida State, where they
Yeah.
have a
MOW or understanding. They have
a sign with a tribe, an agreement where the tribe allows them and the tribe actually does the ceremony stuff for them. Now that all good, but any other outside schools that aren't on the reservation or that aren't representing a tribe, no, that I don't. I think nowadays we're ahead of that, right? We could change the name because a chief to us, even with the Chiefs, think about it. That would be like calling somebody the Kansas City priest. They went like that, right?
Right.
Because a chief is this to our highest regard in Native American culture, right? He's the one that we go to that takes care of our people and all that. So to have him as a football name, you know, it's kind of a slap in the face. And I would hope they would get to change it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll be sure to ask that because there are a couple of Native Americans on the Chiefs. Creed Humphrey, number 52.
Yeah.
And James Winchester, you know? And yeah, that is something that hopefully does get changed. But yeah, I'm glad you would ask me that question because I had thought of it, made me think of that. And the aspect of the Chiefs, yeah, that is they should change it because football doesn't honor a chief, you know, a chief that's culture. That'd be like I said, the best way would be calling them the priest or, you know, anything like that. Buddha, the New Orleans Buddhas, you know, and yeah, or Kansas City Buddhas. And no, that ain't cool, you know. That ain't right these days. We're over that. We're better than that as a society and as people. And I think a lot of people right now in these crazy times, you see what's happening. Like, I've never been into politics because unfortunately I've been in trouble, so I could never vote. But this is a life lesson with my kids. Now I tell them, stay out of trouble, go and vote. How much your vote really means. We got executive orders getting signed that are slapping people in the face that are like, what the? Yeah, that are making me pay attention to the way the world's going these days. So, yeah, we're a better society than that because I think we're all forgetting we're all human beings.
That's right.
No matter what color, ethnicity, culture we come from, in the end, we all bleed the same and we're human beings and we want to be better for the next generations.
Exactly right. I'm gonna ask you one more question and I'll get you out of here, Keith. With the Native Youth Foundation, where it is now, where do you expect it to be 5 years from now?
Great question. So 5 years from now, we hope to be doing events all over the United
States on Indian country. We hope to doing flag camps, about 6 flag camps around the Northeast, Midwest, Southwest, East Coast, and about 6 boys camps. And then we hope to have traveling teams because, as you know, we're California Indigenous athletes. So we'd love to have Arizona Indigenous athletes, right? New York Indigenous athletes, New Orleans Indigenous athletes. Basically have our program where we can give the book and then they can follow it and run the same thing. And we will be at Super Bowl. Super Bowl, we are not going away. Like I said, I got media credentials. So with that, that opens the door to different things. And we will be in our hometown the next 2 years, San Francisco and LA. So we'd love the Hash It Out show to come out. And whoever sticks with us, it gives me a platform. I'm one of those guys I don't forget. So, yeah, we'll be in San Francisco and LA in 2026 and 2027, and then Atlanta. Right. So we plan on growing this media platform as big as we can grow it, but also getting indigenous youth in spaces and areas that they've never been. And we're not the type of foundation that once we got a seat at the table, no, we want everybody to have a seat at the table. That's what we're about. And our motto for this year and all the years is you can't be what you can't see. So it's important for us to put our indigenous Native American youth around people in business, life,
Whatever it is in professional, so they can see people
of their nationality in those places. Because you can't be what you can't see, so they know they can make it there.
Most definitely. Keith Vasquez, man, thank you for joining us. I'll be talking with you so we can hook up next week for the Walk of Fashion show and the celebrity flag football game.
I'll see you at Radio Row, brother.
Definitely,
Well, we'll
man.
see you at both events, but we'll see you in Radio Row too, big dog.
Definitely, man. Thank you, Keith. All right. All right. Keith Vasquez of the Native Youth Foundation. And I was actually trying to get Brandy Liberty to join, but she had issues trying to get in. So unfortunately, we couldn't get Brandy. Excuse me, you couldn't get Brandy on. But this is a big event that is happening next week here in New Orleans. The Walk of Fashion show, as you heard Keith say, from ages 5 to 24, but different generations of family members walking this show. This is pretty outstanding to see because I don't remember ever hearing about indigenous shows during Super Bowl week. I hear about everything else, celebrity this and that, celebrity shows, celebrity comedy shows, this and that, NFL experience. But this is something to me, something spectacular that is happening. And I was glad to be able to get in touch with Keith to get him on here to help promote his events that are happening next week. Like I said to Keith, I remember months ago when Brandy Liberty was talking about getting a indigenous flag football game here, and she was asking me to like what stadiums could they go to, and I told her Tag Gormley, I told her Strawberry Stadium in Hammond, I told her about West Jeff, East Jeff, I told her Tulane. I gave her a bunch of stadiums, so I'm sure she got to work trying to see which one she can get, and there you have it at Tag Gormley Stadium next Wednesday night. So I'm excited, to be honest with you, everybody, to be a part of this and to be there and to network with the Native Youth Foundation and other groups that will be there come next Wednesday and next Thursday. Um, Ready to meet the players, interview some of these players, the coaches on the team. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great event. Let's see what we got in the chat right quick. Give me a second, y'all. Up, there's Brandy Liberty. There she is. Been watching the whole time. We love you too, Brandy. We love you too. So when we appreciate all the work you've done to help get these events here, to get the Native Youth Foundation here, California, indigenous athletes. I know I said it wrong. I apologize. Getting all these groups here for these two events that are happening. So you've been a major part of that. So we thank you so much. Um, in about another 7 minutes, we're gonna have the one, the only coach Jonathan McClinton joining us, the head coach of the Zachary boys basketball team. I'm JB, your sports guy. I'm doing it solo dolo tonight. I don't know where VK had to do something. I know what he had to do. I don't know where George at, man. I don't know. Shoot. Oh man, Brandy, I didn't want to make you cry. Definitely, we'll be seeing you next week. We definitely will do that. But I don't know where George at. I don't know, but I'm not gonna leave my fans hanging. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna rock and roll with this. Coach McClinton in a little bit. Um, the Zachary Broncos has been one of the best teams in the state of Louisiana for quite some time now. Coach McClendon has won 2 championships. We're going back to 2021 and 2022. That 2023 was won by Ponchatoula. Unfortunately, Zachary had to forfeit the whole season due to an unfortunate event that happened with Liberty. We're not going to talk about it. But I'm telling you, that 2023 year, I would have loved to see Zachary and Ponchatoula in the championship. I'm telling you, that game probably could have went either way. Ponchatoula went on to win back-to-back after that, 2023 and 2024, led by one and only Allen Graves, who's I think is being redshirted this year at UC Santa Barbara. But Coach McClinton has done a fabulous job since he's taken over the Zachary Broncos program. And they are in the hunt pretty much every year. And right now, they're number one in the power rankings. I mean, Zachary is just, when it comes to Zachary and sports in general, yeah, Austin, I'm going to call in the replacement to call you and Nick Network to fill in next time, most definitely. 'Cause I don't know what's going on. But when it comes to um Zachary in sports in general, especially football, boys basketball, and girls basketball, they have been, one of the best programs in the entire state. And you talk about Zachary this year, Zachary, their district in basketball may be the toughest district in the entire state. I'm going to ask Coach McClinton about that when he comes on, but I just want to run it down for y'all right quick. So this is District 45A. We have Catholic of Baton Rouge, 24-1. And Catholic of Baton Rouge, I believe, are they defending state champions from last year? Let me check right quick. If it's not last year, it's the year before. I have it. Let me see. It's last year. They won Select Division One last year. The defending state champions from Select Division One is in their district. Boom, there's Liberty, 15-1. Zachary, former two-time state champion, 20-2. Central of Baton Rouge, who got a big win over Denham Springs over the weekend, 17-2. Scotlandville, who's won multiple state championships, was in the state title game 2 years ago, 15-6. Woodlawn of Baton Rouge, 15-9. You cannot sit here and tell me that this is not one of the toughest districts in the entire state of Louisiana. The crazy thing is, you got some teams in there that's probably going to win state. Catholic got a chance, Liberty got a chance, and Zachary darn sure got a chance in non-select Division One. So, and then Central's coming up. Woodlawn's doing that thing. I mean, come on now, people. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. I mean, we're not gonna sit here and say the Catholic League in basketball is the toughest. No, we're not gonna say that. We're gonna give props where props are due. And District 405A is telling y'all right now. And besides all that, y'all do know pretty much in boys basketball for years now who's been running the basketball game? Who's been running it? It's been Baton Rouge area. I mean, think about it. We got Catholic that's won titles. We have Scotlandville that's won titles. We have um we have Port Allen, Zachary. I mean, we got so many in Baton Rouge that has won. They have been running the basketball game for quite some time now. You can't take anything away from them, period. Nothing. They have been running it. And they still running it. They still running it until somebody can actually dethrone these Baton Rouge schools. they're going to keep running the basketball program in the state. They they are just so heavily talented, and it's showing right then and there. People, it's showing they are that talented. And like I don't know where they're coming from, out the yard, out the Mississippi River, or water, whatever. They have been on top of the basketball game in this state, and nothing has changed from that yet. So, in order to take them down, you got to beat them. Now, my man Austin asked me just a minute ago about the rankings, and I'm trying to get there for you, Austin. Just give me a second, bro. Trying to get there. Let me share the screen because I only have me and VK's rankings. I don't know what's up with George. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with my man George. All right, but here we go. All right. Where are my girls? Okay, I see my girls. All right. So the boys, I'll go first. There y'all see it. That's my top five. We have Liberty number one. I have Liberty number one. Shaw number two. Catholic number three. Zachary four. And STM number five. That's my top five right there. If I go back, I'll do VK's boys. He has Caliga Baton Rouge number one, Liberty two, Shaw number three, Zachary four, and STM number five. So me and VK have the same top five finally. He finally used his head a little bit, got a little smart, and put in his and made it right. Let me say that. Made it right. You know, VK be on the side of wrong every now and then, just messing with you, VK. But yeah, he be on the side of wrong. So he has the five teams that to me should be in the top five. Now they got a bunch of good teams. Don't get me wrong. Bunch of good teams. St. Augustine's good. Jesuit is good. Um, Denham Springs is good. You got Central up in there. You got a lot of good teams. But right now, this is to me the five teams that should be in anyone's top five. Now, I'm going to say this. Sean Zachary is Friday night. They come together Friday night. And I was at Hornville High School yesterday watching Hornville girls play. And there were people in there asking me, man, you going to Shaw and Zachary Friday night? I said, yeah, I'm going to be there. So this game right now is being talked about. And we have to remember, and I'll get to the girls' top five in a little bit, but we're still waiting for Coach McClinton to come on. That's what we're waiting on. Hopefully we get him on soon. But Zachary, under Coach McClinton, has been to the promised land. They've been there. They know what it's like to be in for state championships. And let's see if we got Coach. Yeah, we got Coach. I'm about to bring him on. Everybody joining us right now, the head coach of the Zachary Broncos boys basketball team. We have the one, the only Coach Jonathan McClinton. Coach McClinton, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing, Coach? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good. How are you?
Definitely, Coach. Let's get started like this. You were an assistant coach at Central at one time. What, well, not what, but how influential was Sid Edwards to you?
So before I was an assistant coach at Central, I was actually I went to Central, and
Okay.
my junior year, I think Coach Sid came to Central, and I think he was our running back coach. Um, so ever since that time, obviously, if you know Coach Sid, he always drops nuggets on you. These extremely thoughtful and random thoughts and random analogies that he comes up with, and it just is one of those brain teasers that just really makes you think. And ever since then, every time I hear somebody come behind me and say, Big John, I automatically know who it is. But as far as how he develops relationships with student athletes, that's one of the biggest takeaways I can get from somebody like Coach Sid.
Okay. You then go to Zachary High School as an assistant. What went through your mind when Coach Kenny Alman retired unexpectedly?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So it was very unexpected that day, and I meant to say this from the beginning. I apologize. We just took our kids to go watch LSU play, and we're on the way back now. Well, I'm on the way back now.
Oh, you're good,
Um,
coach. You're good.
but it was very unexpected. I remember it like it was yesterday. Um, we were playing in the Hall of Fame Classic at Catholic, and we were playing against Catholic. And the next day, we came back, and he decided that he wanted to retire. And just the look on the kid's face when they didn't expect it. It happened in November of the season. The season is about to start, and it was an eye opener, but at the same time I was like, whoa, what am I supposed to do? One of the best programs in the state, athletic programs in the state, um, and I'm just 26 years old at the time, and it was a lot that I felt like that was asked of me, but at the same time, I will be forever grateful for Jesse Cassard, who's the AD slash baseball coach at Live Oak, and Coach Joe LeBlanc, who he's been around a long time as far as Baton Rouge athletics. He was the principal at the time, and last but not least, our superintendent at the time was Scott DeVilliers. We all sat down and we met in Coach LeBlanc's office, and they said, any way we can support you, we will. And from that point on, it it was go time.
Definitely go time. So you took over as head coach. What was your plan, or what had to be done in your eyes to make this program a consistent powerhouse?
A couple of things. First thing is we kind of prized ourselves on everybody wants to play with grit. And we always said we wanted to be gritty and everything like that. Baseball was everybody knows when you're in Zachary, it's a baseball town. And then
Hmm.
when David Brewerton got to Zachary, our football team went to another level. And basketball, I always tell people it was that middle child where it was kind of we were lost and we didn't know, which way to go. And so I thought the first thing obviously is to establish a culture, and that culture is we was gonna play hard all the time. We was gonna play with a lot of grit, and we was gonna kill that perception that our program is second class to anyone. So that was the first thing we wanted to kill that perception. Then after that, we had to establish, if you're in Baton Rouge, you have so many feeder schools. Where in Zachary, you only have one, Northwestern Middle. So we wanted to grab our kids real early. So we established, I helped establish our LA Bronco organization, which it starts at about fourth grade and it goes all the way up to about 17U or 16U, depending on the year. So that gave us a foundation. Then after that, it was just about grabbing and getting people to invest in the program and so on and so forth, and getting these kids playing year round and playing with each other and developing that family. With all those core values mixed together, we kind of got the finished product. Not finished because it's definitely not finished, but we got the product that we have today.
Well, that product is definitely showing on the basketball court, especially winning back-to-back state titles in 2021 and 2022. Tell us a couple memories of winning those state titles.
I was talking to one of our players that he plays at ULL right now. Everybody just knows that that's my son, but he's really not. Brandon
Mhm.
Hardy, he played for me for 4 years. One of the memories I told him the first state championship we had, we the EBR tournament was hosted at Zachary, and we played Scotlandville, Coach Sample in the championship game. If you know, anytime Zachary and Scotlandville plays, whether it's football or basketball, it's standing room only.
Yeah.
And we were playing, and we ended up losing, and it was an emotional game. And it felt like one of those games that you could either your season can take off or you can tank it after this game. And we ended up losing, I want to say by like 18 or 17, something like that. And we had a meeting the next day, and we didn't practice. We just had a meeting in the gym, and that meeting lasted 2 hours. And they got all their feelings out. It's one of those come to Jesus type meetings. And from that point on, that's when that team started turning the table as somebody that could be a state championship team. That first state championship meant a lot to us, just because obviously that was the first one in 73 years
Hmm.
in the program. But at the same time, it meant a lot to us just because it felt like nobody expected it. And we went against a team in the state championship that was 22-1, Negative Central. And I don't think anybody expected us to win that one either. So that memory will always be in my head, regardless of how successful this program is because it felt like, all right, we've actually accomplished something. And then the next one after that, I think a lot of people kind of expected because that was probably one of the most extremely talented teams that I probably would ever coach. Um, but at the same time, each one, obviously, you don't want to diminish any glory from any one of those teams,
Right.
but those moments of starting at the bottom. And I remember when we was 13 and 18 with my in my second year, and then just sitting there in the last game of the year, and you holding the trophy up and watching these kids after they've invested so much, and after they put up with me for so much, hold that trophy up. That meant a lot to us. So that memory, the memory of the first one will stay in my head forever.
Most definitely. Go Prep says you guys are 20-2 right now. What is the feeling that you have right now about your team?
Oh, this is a fun bunch, man. This is a bunch that we returned one starter from last year, Xavier Ferguson, who in my opinion is one of the best players in the state of Louisiana. Um, after that, we're inexperienced. We're extremely inexperienced, but they're talented, and they've been playing with each other for a long time, and they just have an edge about them. I just don't know why they have it. I tell them all the time, I don't know why y'all have an edge because y'all haven't done anything, and they carry themselves with a swag that like they've been there before. And we've been in big games. We went to Dallas and played against Dallas Kimball. We played against Lancaster in their gym, and it was one of the most hostile environments that I think I'll ever be in. And they were just calm. And this group shows a lot of resilience, it shows a lot of fight. But at the biggest thing about them is they love to stay together. And I have to credit Xavier Ferguson to that because he's the only one that's had a taste of it,
Hmm.
and he's showing them how to conduct themselves. He's not a loud kid. He's not a kid that's in your face. He's not a kid that becomes super anxious. He's a calm, cool, and collective player, and that's how they approach those high intense situations. So this group is fun to coach. I didn't think we'll be as successful as we are now, but at the same time, they've worked so hard, and we're getting to a point in the season where it's going to get real intense. So, everything that we've done thus far, we got to hold on to each other and lean on each other in order to get through this last half of this season.
Definitely. Xavier Ferguson was my next question, but you answered it. Now you saying things about to get real tense, real tough. I want to talk about the district you guys are in because I just said like this may be the toughest and best district in the state. You guys have won state championships. So has Scotlandville. We got Catholic and Liberty,
Hmm.
who's won state championships. Central right
Hmm.
now, 17-2, and then you got a good Woodlawn team. Talk about your district because to me, I told people this is the best district in the state.
I have a lot of friends in the state, and the first thing they'll say, man, I don't know what you're gonna do in your district. Man, I don't. I know since I've been coaching, this is my 10th year being a head coach. I know I've never experienced district like this before. You know, we've always had a really good district. Even when I was playing, because I played in the same district when I was at Central, when Denham Springs and Tasman Mitchell was there. Even when Tara was in the district and Marcus Thornton was in the district. Like, so our district has always been really good, but I don't think it's been as good as it is this year. Now, mind you, those players obviously were good players and better players than the players are now. But as far as team wise, it's night in and night out. You're gonna have to play. If you don't play, you're gonna get beat. It doesn't matter if you're playing Scotlandville, Woodlawn, Liberty, Central, Catholic. Like each team is really good, and each team presents a different style of play. I feel like I think maybe us, Liberty, and Catholic somewhat kind of, try to stretch the floor and play 94 feet at times. But at the same time, people don't talk about them enough. They're number two in our division right now. Central is got to be, and I'm not saying this because I went there, but they are one of the most talented underdogs that I've ever seen
Hmm.
since I've been, the head coach of a high school in Louisiana. They have size. They have guard play. Jace is the redhead point guard that they have. He's one of the best in the state, but they're under the radar, and that's the scary part. And then if
Yeah,
you get caught at, I mean, playing at Central, they definitely create a home court advantage for themselves. Um, and obviously, you already know about Liberty.
yeah,
Liberty won state last year. Brandon White does a great job. We play, me and him grew up together, whatever like that. And the gym is gonna be packed every time Liberty and Zachary plays. And oh, Derek Jones at Catholic,
yeah.
he's he knows how to stir the pot. I can tell you that. But I love him to death, and he has those kids playing unbelievably well. Um, they can go 11 deep at times, and they play well together, and they play intense. They don't get tired. It's just incredible. And Noah, it's kind of like it's hard to say anything bad about Scotlandville because Scotlandville has just been so good for so long, and me and Noah always have that Scotlandville's head coach. Me and him always go back and forth because he'll tell me, "Man, I wish I can win a state championship." I'm like, "Man, you won 17, 18 state championships. What do
Right.
you mean?" And he was like, "Oh, it's different being a head coach or whatever." But he's done a great job in trying to pick up the mantle behind one of the legends in the state of Louisiana, Carlos Sample.
Yes,
And Woodlawn is Woodlawn, man. They're going to be tough. They can shoot the ball. They got a big that I think is one of the best bigs in our district. Uh, so like I said, night in and night out, and every gym you go into in our district is going to be packed regardless of who you play and who's playing. It's just so many intriguing matchups. And like you said, Woodlawn, I think, is 15-9. Central is 17-2. We're 20-2. Liberty, I think, is 16-1, and Catholic is 25-1. Like it's crazy
yeah,
how everyone is playing well. But I love it because coming out of the playoffs or going into the playoffs, all of our teams in our district will be battle tested.
definitely.
And that's what you want to. That's what you want to be. You don't want to play somebody that you know you can be. You want to play somebody that's going to give you the best chance to be successful and the best chance to play in the last game in the state of Louisiana.
Definitely. Coach McClinton, tell me what is in the water with the Baton Rouge area teams for basketball? I mean, your entire district, we could say Port Allen, we could say Madison Prep, but Baton Rouge right now, man, in my opinion, for high school basketball, has been on top for quite some time.
Right. Robin Fambro, a reporter for the Advocate, she always says it, and she has at least one story every year that kind of highlights or spotlights Baton Rouge basketball. Don't get me wrong, you have Catholic High for football, Zachary for football, you have a premier, you have Dunham for football. You have so many powerhouses when it comes to football, and I think sometimes basketball does get like flown it flies under the radar just because we are in Louisiana and football is king.
Yeah.
Um but this, you think about the great players that have come out of Baton Rouge. And if you can go into the whole metropolitan area, but you think about, like I said, Marcus Thornton and Ryan Francis, and you can keep going down the line, Echoes, and some of the Glen Oaks favorites. I mean, like it's just so many people that have come out of this area when it comes to basketball. And I think because it's a tradition now, and like we're starting kids so young, and we're making them so competitive so young, they have no choice but to continue to get better as time progresses. So I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to stay the same. I don't think it comes in cycles. I think it's something that's just like you said, it's in the water. And Baton Rouge is always going to be one of those hotbeds when it comes to basketball, high school basketball in the state of Louisiana.
I got two more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. This Friday night, you guys take a quick little drive to Marrero, Louisiana to play the Archbishop Shaw Eagles. Shaw has been to the semifinals 3 straight years. I don't know if you've seen any film on Shaw yet, but what will it take for you guys to get the win at Archbishop Shaw this Friday night?
Oh boy. Oh man. So it goes back to that conversation we had, or that question you asked about our district. So I don't I don't know how if you've ever had a chance to look back at like the years in the past and how we schedule at Zachary. But a lot of the times, and hopefully I don't sound conceited or anything when I say this, but I get it from Jeff Jones. So if I sound like that, it's because of him.
Hmm.
Um, he always told me, especially when I first got the job, in order for you to be one of the better teams in the state, you have to play against the better teams in the state. If you look at Baton Rouge,
Agreed.
it goes back to Baton Rouge basketball. Madison Prep always plays Liberty. Madison Prep always plays Catholic. Scotlandville always plays Liberty. Zachary is going to always play Liberty. Madison Prep. Like we all are going to play each other, and we do it because it makes all of us better, and we
Correct.
all want to see each other play in Lake Charles come March. So I'm saying that to say I I was told that Shaw was one of the or is the best team in the New Orleans area.
Hmm.
Kobe Butler, obviously, he's great. The point guard, I can't think his name. I think they call him
Alan Shaw.
Red. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good. And then they have a sophomore that he's going to be probably as good as Kobe or probably even better than Kobe. And then they have a nice sprinkle of shooters around them that can play as well. But if you want to be able to get into the playoffs and not just get into the playoffs, now Shaw preps us for our district and how tough it is. Like you have to play against the most elite teams in the state in order for our kids, especially as inexperienced as we are, to not let the first time of them experiencing it be in the first round of playoffs, second round of playoffs, or even in a district championship game versus Catholic High School. So going against the guard from Shaw is going to prep us for going against Tate McCurry from Catholic. Going against Liberty's Malik Robinson is going to prep us for going against any guard that will play in the playoffs. So I think what we're going to try to do, obviously, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to play the same way we've been playing. We're going to see if they can handle the ball a little bit. We're going to see if they can get up and down the floor a little bit. And we got to keep them off the boards. We got to keep Kobe off the boards. And I cannot think of the other kid's name, but the other big,
Tristan Knockin.
yeah, we got to keep him off the boards as well, and we got to keep the guard out of the paint. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but at the same time, we kind of hang our hats on paint protection. We've never, since I've been at Zachary, had a rim protector. We had one, but obviously he wasn't able to play, and that was Trey Green, and we just got through watching
Hmm.
him play. But we've never had a rim protector since I've been there, so we have to be hounds on the ball. We have to be able to guard the ball maliciously, violently. We're gonna get hand checks called. Like we have to be able to do that because we have to protect that paint like it's no tomorrow. So that's one of the things that we're gonna try to hang our hats on is being able to guard that paint. And once that shot goes up, It's a fight, it's a battle, it's a war in that paint to clear them out of the paint, get the rebound, and after that, we're gonna try to get down the floor as quick as we can because we like to play fast.
Definitely. Last question. Of course, every head coach wants to win state titles. You've won two, and of course, you want to win more. But what is your main goal that you want to see for your players once they graduate?
The biggest thing is, like you said, graduating. Um, One of the things that obviously I know a lot of coaches can hang their hats on, we graduate. I mean, we have 100% graduation rate. There's no kid that comes through our program that does not graduate. Obviously, we know everybody says the cliche, it's a student athlete, student comes first. Obviously, we really grab a hold to that and run with that. Now, prior to that, I feel like just like in a school setting, we're moving away. The state of Louisiana, and just like all places in the country, are moving away from pushing everybody to be college ready kids. Everybody doesn't want to go to college. Some people might want to do trade, some people might want to do other things, but there's always training involved. I'm saying that to say our kids, we find what they want to do. Whether do you want to play at the college level? Do you want to just go to college and major in something else? Like so it gets to a point to where you develop a relationship, like I said when we were talking about Coach Sid, develop a relationship with these kids and figuring out what do you really want to do because everybody's not going to have the chance to play at the college level, especially with the transfer portal and everything that's going on now. So like digging into our kids and trying to figure out what is it that you want to do. Now once we decide what you want to do, well, not we decide, once you decide what you want to do, now you have to stay glued to the vision that you gave us. We came up with it together. Now we got to put things in place and make action steps in order to get to your goal. Uh, Now I'm gonna hold you to that. There's no way I'm not gonna hold you to it, and that's where the intensity, not just on the court, basketball court, comes in. I'm gonna be just as intense when it comes to your grades, if that's what you're saying you want to do. I'm gonna be just as intense as it is anything that you want to do. We have to make sure we hit our action steps in order to get to those goals. And you always can bring it back to basketball. Because I tell people all the time, if you can't sit in class and stay up and do your work and turn in your assignments, you can never play for me. Because I'm gonna ask for you, I'm gonna ask for way more than that history teacher or that geometry teacher is asking, or that art teacher is asking. I'm gonna ask for way more. And if you can give me way more, then I know you can give her or him way more as well. So and then discipline problems, we're not dealing with that at all. So it's just about knowing the kids and being able to present them with a lot of options. It's hard for me to go and watch some of our kids play on the next level because we have so many that's playing right now. So
Hmm.
it's a great problem to have. I was just on the phone, on FaceTime earlier today with Kyrie Haynes. He's at LSUA. Brandon Hardy, he's at ULL. Caleb Huggins, he's at Xavier. Like we counted, there's 13 of our kids since we've been at Zachary that's playing on the next level right now. And Lord, if they find out that I went to one of the other one's games and didn't come to their game, Jesus Christ, it would be like hell breaking loose everywhere. But it's a great problem to have, and the goosebumps that you feel when you're sitting in the PMAC, even though he didn't play for us, you're sitting in the PMAC and you hear Trey Green's name, considering everything that child has been through
Yeah.
uh, so far in his life, and just the mantle that he has to hold on his shoulders as far as playing football. And I told him, dude, you just on December 31st, less than a month ago, you was catching a touchdown pass against Baylor. Now it was actually when they played Alabama. Now you on ESPN playing against Alabama basketball wise. I said, man, there's nobody else in the country that's doing that right now on
Right.
that level. And I said, man, you got to understand, you got to stay grounded and all this other kind of stuff. And one thing that stuck with me that I could have shed a tear when he actually said this to me, he said, Coach, I finally feel equal. I feel like I'm myself again, and everything that I've been through the past year built me for this moment that I'm in right now. And for an 18-year-old to tell you something like that, like it's baffling to me, man. And those are the moments that you just cherish when those kids that you've invested in so much, when they succeed and you see them excelling and you see them doing impossible things after other people said that it couldn't be done. That's the moments that you live for. That's the moments that coaching becomes a lifestyle instead of a job to me.
Most definitely. I totally agree with that. Coach McClinton, I want to thank you for joining us. I want to wish you the best of luck to you and your team throughout the rest of the season. And Friday night, I will see you personally, my friend.
See you there.
Definitely. Thank you, Coach. All right. That's Coach McClinton of the Zachary Broncos. And we got the one and only VK Jones, who had a basketball game today. How did that go, VK? Did y'all win?
Nah. It was a competitive ball game. We played against Kinder Discovery. Kinder Discovery wound up pulling away and winning the ball game. We had a first half was kind of was up and down. We was in it. Second half we executed a little bit better, but Kinder Discovery made a huge run in the fourth quarter to put the game away. So but at the same time, with you're dealing with youth and you're dealing with injuries, so it is what it is. But it's good to be here. And I appreciate your understanding and everything. So
Yeah, you
my
already told me, bro.
apologies.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. I told you. Then
yeah.
I had a coaches meeting after the game that took a minute, and then I had to check on my daughter. So you know what else you have to do? You gotta balance everything out before you get on here. But it's good to
That's
be here
right.
tonight, and I can't believe we have reached the high mark. I'm kind of surprised we didn't make it kind of a special kind of show, but it
We're
is
gonna
what
make
it is.
250. 250 gonna be the special one. 250.
Oh, you always took 250.
250. Yeah.
Okay.
250. Yeah.
I guess you was kind of surprised, or you probably didn't know.
No, I knew.
You know,
I knew. I type it in every show, what episode it is, so I knew. And then when I started the show, I was just talking, and I kind of forgot. And Austin reminded me. He said, "Man, congrats on 200." I said, "Oh man, yeah, you're right. Thank you."
yeah,
So
it's amazing that we have been on this thing. Uh, what it's been it's this thing has been going on 3 years
we
now,
close to 3 years, probably.
close to
Yeah,
three
yeah.
years, and hopefully we're going to get into bigger and better things. We're gonna talk personally about that off air. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because I think the Hash It Out show is going to get to bigger and better black platforms than anything else, because we have been really, really executing and really being one of the best in the city and in the state of Louisiana, period, for what we do. So it's great to be at 200, but it's good to be here tonight. I see Coach McClinton, and he's done a great job at Zachary. I
Solid
was
job.
I didn't want to miss the interview, but oh well, you know what I'm saying. I'll see him Friday, but he's done great work. A lot of players that has came from
Yeah.
that program, and they're making impacts now. I know one of his best players to me. He's been having some good ones, but that Jalen Bolden kid, he was a real one, bro. He was
Yeah.
a real one. So and I think I forgot he's at somewhere because he was. I seen him. I think it was like I think it might have been some point this season, and I was
Hmm.
like, man, I'm like he looked familiar. I'm like, what school he went? Zachary.
He said he
So
got about 13 players right now, all playing somewhere. That is crazy. But we talked a lot. Man, he wants his main goal is to help his players reach their goals of what they want to be in life. He said basketball is not promised for everybody. Everybody not gonna play at the next level. But I want to help them reach their goals. If this is what you want to be, I'm gonna make sure you get there. And I'm gonna be harder on you than your teacher is. So I love that from him. Um, I asked him what's in the water with all the basketball schools in Baton Rouge, all the Baton Rouge schools being basketball schools. He laughed and he said he's just they put in the work. They put in the work, and he said he don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. I also asked about Shaw. You heard about that, and obviously he watched some film. He's talked to Coach Jones when he became a coach, and Coach Jones told him, to play the tough teams. And he said he heard that Shaw is the best team in the New Orleans area. Why not play Shaw? This is man. I can't wait till Friday night. Yes, this man.
It, it,
Everybody needs to be at Shaw Friday.
it's gonna be the best game in the state of Louisiana,
I hope
period,
so. I
on
hope so.
Friday. It is
I
because
hope
you look
so.
at the schedule, like you got some good, interesting matchups Friday. But this one is the biggest one in the state. That's why it's being streamed live. And I wish somebody else would have it, but it is what it is.
It is what
You
it
know what I'm
is.
saying?
All
So,
good.
but it's gonna be a great game Friday night. Get there early, man. I think it's
I
gonna be a
will.
packed crowd because and Zachary, they travel well. They
I want them
travel
to.
well.
I want them to show up.
So I
I want
think
that whole
I
student
think
section
it
I
will.
seen on film dancing, jigging, and all that. I want them to be at Shaw.
I don't think they're gonna. They might. I don't know if they're gonna come. And I think we'll see more of that student section when the playoffs come. When they got a road game or
You're
something, and
gonna
at
see it
least
for the
one.
district games coming
You
up.
see. Oh yeah, now that's different. The
You,
district they're in Baton Rouge anyway, so
yeah.
you're gonna see them on the road. But that I will be shocked if they do make it to Marrero, and it's like, okay, this is good. I know the regular fan base, they do travel well, so I think they're gonna be there and they're gonna be in full force. It's gonna be probably one of the biggest crowds of the year for sure. So
I
this
hope
is,
so.
I think so.
They need. They need to. They need to be there. They
Yeah,
need to.
I agree. I
Mhm.
really agree. I think looking at Zachary, it's like we know the Baton Rouge basketball is great, but Zachary overall in athletics
Oh yeah.
is
Yeah.
unbelievable
Yeah. He talked
because
about that.
because I'll tell you, Zachary set the tone with football. They set the tone.
But he said before Brewerton got there, he said they were just a baseball school.
That's it. That's that. I'm sorry. You're right. Baseball set the tone first. Then football kind of elevated it, especially the way Coach Brewerton has really got their program on another level. It was a program that was good before Brewerton, but then Brewerton just really took them to the next level.
That's correct.
So all of a sudden Zachary became that school, that football, and then all of a sudden here comes girls and boys basketball.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And they're good in
oh
track
man,
too. They're good in track also.
not surprised.
Yep.
Not surprised, especially
Man.
with the athletes and everything else that they mix into it.
Yeah.
So it's a really good athletics, elite athletics and academics is really good over there. And despite a lot more schools in Baton Rouge being built, or the areas are being built, like example of Baton Rouge Central,
Hmm.
how that area is starting to build more. Like Central has been there as a high school for a long time, but I think the area is now being built. That's how Zachary started to blow up more than anything else as a school, because they started to build in Livingston Parish. When they started building a lot of like stores, places, and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and
Yep.
also subdivisions, people started moving out there.
Yeah.
So the same thing is going on in Central,
And then
and
you got
then
a
you
lot of chemical plants right there by the high school.
exactly the point.
So job opportunities right there.
They
Um,
they got another community that's building over there. They've been talking about a lot. I know you might have heard about it. I think they call St. George's Village, St. George's, or something like that.
mhm.
I that's another community they're building out there, and I think they got a school that they're building out there as well.
Another school in the
So
Baton Rouge area. They just put up Prairieville.
I know that's what that's the big thing too. Like
Jeez.
it makes sense they build Prairieville because that area has really started to bloom out there.
Prairieville took
So
students from Dutchtown and East Ascension.
it was coming, man. Because
They did what Helen Cox did to Eric and West Jeff.
they sure did. Because you have to think a lot of the area, and it's funny. East Ascension would take a good bit of people or students from that particular area.
Mhm.
Now, Prairie, like, let's start our own little community school so they can start coming around us, so we don't
Yeah.
have to bring them all the way to Dutchtown, all the way to, or even at Saint Amant. We ain't
Right.
gotta bring them to Saint Amant. So yeah, Baton Rouge is starting to be a little bit like New Orleans with all these schools everywhere, which that has changed now with the the ASA type thing, the ASA schools in Jefferson Parish and all these other schools that's popping up.
So VK, let's move on to our. I did our boys top 5 already. We did that earlier. So now we do our top 5 for girls. And I got Mr. Peppers in the lobby with a frown on his face. I don't know what he's frowning for. You need to go ahead and smile. Yeah, that's right. You better smile. Left me hanging. Had me by myself. What's wrong with you, man?
My bad, dude. Mandated overtime is why. So,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
that.
man. Send me a text next time, bro. Just send me a text.
Well, I don't. I don't bring my phone to work. That's forbidden. So, I don't have
So
access.
whenever you get to your phone, that's what I'm saying. I know you don't have it at work. Just say,
No,
just
it's
put
at
the
my
word,
house. So.
just put the word late.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
I know,
need,
but
Mr.
if
Peppers.
but I can ensure Zachary winning Friday night. VK, I can ensure Zachary winning Friday night.
Nah.
All I got to do is
Go
all I got to
ahead.
do is show up. I can show up with you. I come with you. Be in the building, and if Zachary wins, I got to face the wrath of two people: the man to your left and the head coach of Archbishop Shaw.
Oh boy, Lauren ain't gonna want to hurt you, man. But
He
look,
might want it is Royal Rumble weekend, so he might want to go WWE on me. I don't know. So
He be looking like Triple H when
all right,
what was
man.
that? What was that lady name?
Mae Young.
No. The announcer, not
Oh,
Samantha.
Lillian Garcia. Lillian
When
Garcia when she
Lillian
announced him as the
Garcia,
former champ. Yeah, I remember
former
that.
champ, and that fool just what
He went
running
out.
down to the ring.
all right, let's move along to
Let's do.
the girls' top 5. I will go first, and there we have Parkway. Now is number 1 for me. I dropped Walker down 1 spot with the loss to Denham Springs. Wassman stays at number 3. Zachary's at number 4. Curtis at number 5. George Peppers. What are your thoughts about my girls' top 5?
I actually will give you mine. I actually,
Wait.
I
Give me yours in a little bit. What are your
okay.
thoughts of mine?
I like it, and I know that this is going to bring up vigorous debate here in a short minute or two.
Uh-huh.
Very vigorous debate, to be honest. But I have absolutely no problem with your top 5. John Curtis and Alondra Brown is there, and then the car is not. I don't have an issue with that. They do set up, and I think they play tomorrow. Do they not?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna talk about that after we finish the top
I
5. But
think
yeah,
they play. Where's that game at? Is it at Car or is it
Zach
at
Curtis. Zach Curtis.
So it's at JC.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Parkway 1, Walker 2, and Walker had the hiccup. You know what may be a blessing for Walker though, when
What's
you
that?
look at his big picture, that they lost in the regular season. Remember, the last 2 years they've been perfecto until the playoffs. Now they've taken the humbling loss in the regular season. They can refocus, they can regenerate, and refresh themselves, and go for a new drive and try to finish what they couldn't finish the last 2 years. But I have nary an issue with your top 5.
All right. And as we have Mr. Marcus, who keeps messaging me while I got the screen shared. But anyway,
Yeah, I see
George,
that.
what's your girls' top 5, George?
Well, I actually, this is gonna surprise you a little bit,
Okay.
man. What is this, bro? Really? The
Gee, I
first on the
got
Acid House show. Um, for me, I have 3 and 4 flipped. Zachary 3, Wassman 4.
okay.
Walker, I'm gonna keep number 1. I know they lost.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, Denham Springs is a high quality game, high quality team,
It's a
and they
rival.
lost to him. It is a rival.
Yeah.
Parkway, with all due respect, is 2. Zachary, as I mentioned, 3. Wasland 4, and the Patriots 5.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like your top 5. I understand why you kept Walker number 1. I get it.
They've been
I
they've
have
been
no
great all year, Jared. That's why
yeah,
I feel like one game doesn't define a team.
definitely. I totally get it. All right. Let's get to Mr. VK Jones's top 5, ladies and
This will be
gentlemen.
interesting.
The ones y'all been waiting for. Here we go.
Mm.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
And he gets music
Yeah, a
too.
little music to it. There it is. So, number 5, Walker. Walker was number 1 on his list. last week, and he dropped them way to number 5. He has Wassman at number 4, Curtis at number 3, Edna Carr number 2, and Parkway at number 1. Explain your top 5, Mr. VK Jones, sir.
Well, the one of the boldest moves I've done all year long, and I said, Parkway needs to be in the top 5. They need to be because of their resume and how they've been playing very, very well. Now they're on like a 6-game winning streak. 3 out of the 6 has been against tough competition and everything. So it's almost like Parkway needs to be number 1 instead of just being anywhere in the top 5. They deserve to be there. Walker, the reason why they're at number 5 this week is the fact, yeah, they lost, but then on top of that is the fact that the way they lost the ball game, it was not like, it was not a bad loss at all, because Denham Springs is a very good program. But at the same time, they played probably their worst ball game of the season against Denham Springs, the worst they played all year. I mean, Denham Springs was up as much as almost like 17 points. So, and I'm talking about in the first half. And that's not good at all, especially when you're trying to maintain yourselves. But like George said, and he makes a good point, the fact that that one loss might be the best thing for them, especially in this regular season right now. So they're at 5, Wassman at 4. It's hard for me to move them up. I haven't really seen any impressive wins. They did what they were supposed to do and they took care of business.
No, wait, Wassman don't have any impressive wins?
I'm talking about over this week, the week prior. Not they got a lot of great wins
Okay,
for
I
the
got you.
season.
I got
I'm
you.
talking about prior.
The week. Okay, I got
Right.
you.
Got
Okay.
it. Curtis and Edna Carr, and I'll tell you one thing. One of them are going to cancel out because they both play tomorrow for the district championship and a possibility of a top, probably 2 seed in the playoffs.
They both 1 and 2 right now.
Yep. So that is huge right there. Somebody's going to cancel out with those 2 right there. And I know you're going to get on me because why the Zachary girls are not in the top 5. Well, I'm going to say this. The Zachary girls deserves to be in the top 5. And VK Jones has to admit a lot of things have been going on my plate. Not making no excuses at all. But that's the one team I have missed. I have missed Zachary. So Zachary girls will be on it. Like I did with Parkway. I said Parkway deserves to be on VK's top 5 and see where they at. Now, one of these teams at the car Curtis. Now, Zachary did beat Curtis. And they do need to be up there. But at the same time, one of these teams are going to cancel out. And Zachary girls will be on there next week. But where are they going to be at? We'll definitely see next week where Zachary.
What if Zachary loses?
Well, who Zachary has this week?
I'm just asking the question. I don't know who they got. I don't expect them to lose. But I'm just
That's a good
asking you,
question.
what if they happen to lose? Anything can happen. We just saw Walker.
Yeah. They lose this week. Yeah, but we'll see, because they do deserve to be on it. They do have a very impressive resume in itself. Zachary deserved to be in my top 5.
So you're saying right now Zachary should be on your list right now. Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna stick to business to what it is for this week, but at the same time, I'm giving Zachary their props because the fact matter is, yes, they deserve to be up there.
Man, it sound like you giving Zachary a consolation prize. Yeah, y'all deserve to be here. So after Carr and Curtis play, I'm gonna put y'all in.
At least I'm not hating.
I didn't say you was hating. I didn't say you was hating.
Now there's some people that will hate on Zachary and will say that's not impressive to me. Well, that's not this, that's not that. There's some people will do that. So I'm not throwing any shade. If Zachary people are watching the show right now, I'm giving your team props because I know how good they are. I'm just being a man and saying, hey, VK ain't perfect. VK and Jared had just started doing this top 5 every week a couple weeks ago. So the thing is, we have to do a lot of research. We have to make sure what isn't, and what ain't. That kind of thing. Carr is just being so outstanding, and the reason why I put them in top five because they got some very good wins, and the schedule gets tougher for Carr down the line. And then you think about this. This is the most consistent
Our
Carr
schedule
team
schedule
in a
gets
long
tougher.
time.
It gets tougher. The toughest team after Curtis is gonna be Walker.
Let me check.
And you check. We talk about tougher schedules, George. A tough schedule is what Zachary Boys got coming up with that district with all those good teams.
They
Cap,
do. Central and Catholic to
yeah,
finish.
that
That is a death row schedule right
yeah.
there. Um, but uh, what do you want me to say about this top
That
five? I mean, I'm not going to savage you.
Zachary should be on his
They
list.
should be. They absolutely should be. But to pivot and crawfish the way you're doing, VK, is really
How
comical.
is pivoting in
You're
Because you said
crawfishing.
they should
All
be in
right.
here, but
Um.
I'm gonna make sure they in there next week once Curtis and Carr
Hey,
play.
hey,
Exactly. So it's like you would throw them a bone next
hey,
week.
I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, there are times that
You
we
just
miss things. Can we admit that we
oh,
missed?
Oh no,
we all
yeah,
listen.
we've done
Nobody's
that. We've
okay.
done that.
Nobody's perfect. Look at nobody's perfect. Look at 1, 2. Move. But you asked Zachary, what is they? They play Central 29th, right? Right. Then they get Central's fourth. I don't think they play those 2 games. It's not games and wins them. At least on paper they should. But again, how many games have we ever seen played on paper? Right.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
uh we move we move on, and they'll probably and be it should already be here. All I know is there might be a hit out on VK because you don't have Zachary's girls in there. It might be
They they,
them
they
girl.
have they have 7 straight wins, and
Hmm.
they have 6 more games to go. And to be honest, they're gonna probably win them all.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not saying they
favored. They,
probably
they
will,
look
but I'm
like.
just saying it's in general. Go ahead, G.
But Jared, can I ask you something?
You can.
You look at this top five. I know you and I disagree. Of these five, I think I know the answer. I just want to make sure we're on point. Who do you take out? If this is your,
Oh,
if you're
right
looking at
now.
this,
Oh,
right,
right
with these
now.
five,
Yeah, right now.
who you pulling out?
It's in the car. In the car is the one I
Okay,
pull out right now.
they are the.
Only
Mm-hmm.
because
All right,
they have a good schedule, but when it
right,
comes to the teams Parkway, Curtis, and Walshman has played, they have played to me a better group of teams. So
yeah,
that's the only gripe I have on Carr. Now Carr is
mm-hmm.
supposed to play Zachary on the 24th. Well, we know why that got postponed due to the
Snow,
snow.
yeah,
But Carr has Curtis tomorrow
mm-hmm.
night, and they also
Right.
got Walker. So, and you imagine if Edna Carr wins those 2 games? Oh my God.
Then you have to put them in.
Oh, if Edna
You
Carr beats John Curtis tomorrow, they are in my top five right
all
then and
day,
there. That's
all
it.
day.
It's a
Hmm.
done deal.
There is no question.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not questioning the merits of Etna Carr at all.
Me
I
neither.
just, when you look at when we put these top fives together, when we do it, we put them based on schedule
Yeah.
and the eye test. Now we haven't seen Zachary's girls play. None of us. We've heard about it. A lot of
I've seen
accounts
some
and
film. I've seen some film.
okay. And I was going to say Huddle. I don't know about Huddle. What's that? There's a film source that they have that you
You can
can
go to
get to.
Huddle. You can go to
Hmm.
some
G,
Instagram pages that they have.
Right.
GNR,
GNR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, them. I forgot about them.
Yeah.
But definitely. I mean, with the age of the internet, you can see anyone and anything at any time. Uh, but I mean, if Carr goes to Curtis, that's really going to add points because that Curtis team is going to be tough at home. That's a tough place to go and find a way to get the win.
Yeah.
Um, if Carr gets in there and they win, and let's say they win decisively,
Mm-hmm.
8, 10, 12 points. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's just, for hypotheticals and argument's sake, they do. Where is Carr on your list, Jared? If they get in,
Ooh,
because that's
boy.
called that's called a signature defining win.
If they beat Curtis, right?
If they beat him soundly,
And I have Curtis number 5.
3.
I w
Oh,
I
yours is 5. Okay,
yeah, I will slide them at number 5.
okay,
I'm not I mean, could I put them over Zachary?
all right,
I would say no, 'cause due to the team Zachary has played, but I would
right.
put Edna Carr right at number 5,
Mm-hmm.
right behind Zachary.
VK,
That's where I would put him.
VK, I have to ask you about one team in your top 5, not to question the merits of them being in there, but the fact that you savaged them after they lost. Walker, you dropped
Yeah.
them from 1 to 5. Talk to us.
They played the worst game of the season.
So the eye test. I got you.
The eye test. Yes,
All
they
right.
was losing by 17 in the first half. We not talking like second half. Okay, close out, big run for Denham Springs. Yeah, okay, great second half. I can see it was tight game and all that, but the way people was talking about it and everything, like Walker like came out flat. They came back in the second half,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, there's like
Too much.
Walker did not exactly. Walker did not look like a number one team. They just didn't.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't have dropped him that far still. I wouldn't have.
I
I
wouldn't
would have.
have. I wouldn't have. My thing.
They've
My
done too
thing
much.
was is the fact that we know the way that Washman has been playing lately, beating people like gangbusters. They would have to move up a bit. I put up Carr and Curtis because of the fact, okay, y'all getting some good wins. They're battling one another. So we just know somebody's gonna go. Somebody's gonna be going out. You know what I'm saying? And Parkway with me being bold to put them in and where they are, Parkway is just been lights out, one of the best teams in the state besides what we have on the list here. So regardless of the fact, like I said, we might have another shakeup next week. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Carr does beat Curtis, do I put them like if Zachary comes into the top 5? Where does Zachary go? That's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be like, should I put Carl over Zachary? That's gonna be tough.
You got him
But
over Zachary now.
I know that. But I'm talking about
So you
I'm
saying
talking
so next week, even if Carr beats Curtis, you telling me you gonna put Zachary over Edna Carr? Is that what you're saying? Is that a possibility?
I don't think it's a possibility because of the fact of the matter is like, Zach, look at it, Zachary, they're gonna be in the top 5 anyway because of the fact of where they are, their resume, and the teams that beat, and they are very good this year. So they deserve to be up there. If Edna Carr beats Curtis, it's gonna be hard for me to put Zachary over Carr because the fact of the matter is like Carr has beaten a top 2 team, and now they're in a position. Not just the fact they win a district championship, but now they're in a position that they got the number 1 seed. So it's almost like, hey, it's apples or oranges.
Hmm. I said, George, Carr beats Curtis tomorrow. Carr's in my top 5, but they're probably number
Mhm.
5 right behind Zachary.
And the
I
fact that
don't
you
have
and
him.
I,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know we agree. We agree.
yeah,
But
the fact that we don't have him in there does not mean we're sliding in the car at all.
oh no, oh
Let's
no,
make that abundantly clear to the listeners, to the people out there
Edna
listening.
Carr's in my top 10.
Exactly, as they should be.
Hmm.
As they should be. But the fact that you and I don't have him in our top 5 speaks to the depth of great basketball in the girls' side this year. There's
Yeah.
a lot of great, really good teams that you can't just be singular and look out and say, "Yeah, this is the team that's going to be the one." You can put in our top 10. I'd say all of them are meriting a look at Lakeside in the girls' side. I mean Hammond. No, Lake Charles. No, yeah, it's Hammond for the
Hammond.
girls. Yeah, okay, I said it right.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Carl Curtis game tomorrow night. Y'all going? Mhm. Okay. I
Are
see
you
VK
going?
being hesitant over there. Huh?
Oh, you
No, I'm
going?
off. I mean, I will be off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. They tip at what, 6?
Yeah. So Curtis came out and said the varsity game at 6, JV at 5. I'm trying to get there at 5.
All right, I'm gonna touch base with you tomorrow when I make it back
All
to the
right,
hizzle, to the house.
definitely.
But episode 200, I gotta mention. I know you. I just heard you before you brought me up that 250 is gonna be the pop the top. Pop the champagne bottle.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
250, and then
50
300.
maybe.
We got to do a little something for 300.
We'll see.
Uh, yeah,
We'll
we
see.
shall see. But 200. Here's the thing I'll say about 200. I'm proud of what the three of us have accomplished and what we look to accomplish going forward. Remember, eyes on the prize. It's all about the future of us and the Hash It Out Show and
Yeah.
what we do. We continue to strive to get better. You know, I've got coworkers who are like, man, when y'all doing y'all show next show? And they're like, uh, when y'all's next show? And I'll be like, tonight. And then I actually had a lady whose son plays for St. Augustine, who's going to start for them next year, football.
Hmm.
She's like, y'all going to come do St. Aug's games? I said, ma'am, look, I got to be honest. The three of us are going to come and, look at the schedules when they come out and we'll figure something out. And I had VK in my head. I was like, man, I could just see it now, doing a St. Aug game for the Astronaut Show game of the week. That would be epic. But
We
yeah,
actually we actually did one. Remember we did the John Curtis game.
I remember
He wasn't there.
I
He was
wasn't
at his
there because I
Yeah,
got
you
playing with
stuck.
wasn't there
John
that
Eric.
night. You wasn't there that
Yeah,
night.
he
Oh
wasn't
yeah, that's
there.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
All right.
alumni night when they played Bird.
Yeah. All right. I wanna me and George gonna talk a little bit about the Carl Curtis game tomorrow that's happening. And
Hmm.
VK was he gonna jump right back with us right quick, but we're gonna talk about this Carl Curtis game that's happening tomorrow.
Sure.
This is gonna be for a district championship. I want to get right into keys to victory for both teams. Number one, we know Imani Daniels has been out hurt for John Curtis. So I
Hmm.
don't know if he's coming back for this game or not. I don't know. But Edna Carr is going to have to stop one of the dynamic duo of these two freshmen, and that's Janiyah Williams and Jayla Albert. I'm not saying you have to stop both. You have to at least try to stop
Contain them.
one, or you got to limit their points. Because
Hmm.
the last game against the Dominican, Janiyah Williams had 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 steals, 3 assists. Jayla Albert, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists. You have to limit their production. You have to. So if you can stop one, that's good. If you can cut their production in half, that's even good. So that's the keys
Hmm.
to me for John Curtis. On the other side, John Curtis to me, they have to. I think Cass can get her shots off, but it's helping out when Sanaa Bean gets the ball in the post. That's when you might have to double team her, and she may kick it out to somebody for open three. But I think preventing Sanaa Bean from scoring under the post will help John Curtis at least win that game. So to me, that's the keys of victory. Is that right there? Defensively for both of them. Offensively, yeah, it's Curtis distributing the ball, getting the playmakers involved to score, and for Edna Carr, it's Cass Antoine and Sanaa Bean scoring, and then also kicking it out to other shooters that they have that can hit the 3-point shot. So we'll see tomorrow, man. I am looking forward to this game. Gonna be there. Your thoughts, George Peppers?
For me, one of the other keys that I'm surprised he didn't mention, you know what Carr thrives on, right? How they play, their
Mm,
tempo, their
yeah,
acceleration. They play open floor basketball. They're not a team that's going to just go and work the shot clock. Well, there is no shot clock, but they're
there is no
not a
shot
team
clock.
that's going to hold the ball very long. But they're a team that's going to go out there and transition and get shots. That is going to be something for Curtis to have to figure out how to kind of negate that a little bit. Try to keep them in the backcourt, force them to make the extra pass defensively. I think that's something, if you're Curtis, you got to do. You mentioned the freshman for Curtis. They have been spectacular. the toothbrush. Sanaya Dean, though, I think is gonna have to be a pivotal force tomorrow for Carr. I think if you dump it inside to her, does can Curtis will they be able to front her?
I
You
would
know,
say this because if Imani Daniels is playing,
then
if she's
then
playing, I don't think you have
that's
to double
yeah,
Sanaa. I think you let those two go 1-on-1. I don't think you have to double. But if
and
she's
that's a
not playing, then
Showtime
I
thing
think you
right
got
there.
to double Sanaa. Yeah.
Surely, and Cass is going to do her thing for Carr. I mean, she's been outstanding all year. Look, this is just a great matchup, and it's for the title, the district championship. So, I mean, and we're almost to the playoffs. What are we? 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, I
2 weeks
think.
away, 2 weeks out. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But, um, you know, the fact that we get this matchup and we got to worry about snow. I'm kidding about the snow part, but it's a good thing. It's a great matchup, and so much on the line. A one seed, both teams are going to make the bye. They're going to both be in the
Oh yeah,
bye
they get a buy
section.
without a doubt.
So
Yeah.
there's not that's what we're playing for is
I
to
think you're
be
gonna see
the
Bolton
overall.
Hammond. I think you're gonna see Bolton Hammond.
I do too. I think that the trajectory of where they're at, I think the draws will set up pretty good. Sure, are there some dangerous teams in the 5 to 10 area that they both will probably have to overcome? Sure, but as it looks right now, these two teams look like in Division One are going to be a major headache for a lot of teams in D1. So, excuse me, select. It's just going to be a spectacular basketball game. I don't really see a whole lot in between them.
VK, your
I
thoughts?
think I cannot wait till tomorrow. I'm looking forward to looking at the brand new renovated gym at John Curtis and looking at the highlights. It really looks different. It really looks different from looking at highlights and stuff and going look at it in person for the first time. It's I can't wait to see it. And I knew John Curtis was gonna put some money in that place, and they really look like they've really done that. And I think Jared told me it kind of remind you a little bit of a country day a little bit. So I was like,
No, it don't.
not really.
No. Mm-mm.
Somebody told me that. If it
It wasn't
wasn't
me.
you, if
Right
it
on
wasn't
Country
you,
Day.
somebody told me that. It like kind of like it'll make you think about country day the way it's kind of.
Mm-mm.
You didn't say that. Somebody told me.
It wasn't me.
It was if it
All
wasn't
right,
you,
Shaggy, it
somebody
wasn't
told me.
me.
That was somebody told me.
Okay.
You know,
But
but
when you
it's
walk in there tomorrow, you be your own judge if that new John Curtis gym reminds you of Country Day.
The only thing when we walk in is the atmosphere that building is going to generate tomorrow. The importance of the game, the fan bases are going to be there hooping and hollering. We're in for a really special 2 days, y'all. Carl Curtis tomorrow night, and of course Zachary at Shaw Friday night. And with the propensity of what Zachary's fan base can do, and of course the student section, it has been talked about numerous times of what they do. If they're there Friday, then it's a big game. Then you already know. Because they're gonna make the 90-minute drive to Marrero. That would be spectacular. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be January madness in Louisiana. It ain't March. I mean, but we get an early taste of it though.
well,
Yes.
well, you look like
Speaking of Shaw, we got a couple Shaw coaches in the chat room on Instagram. We got Coach Chad Boyd, we got Coach Giglio, you know, two of the defensive coaches for the Shaw football team, the state champion coaches. Let me correct that. State
Correct.
champion coaches
They'll correct
of
you.
Archbishop Shaw. Let me say it right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
and you look at the gym does look very much upgraded. You know what I'm saying? Look a little bit much bigger than it ever been. So I can't wait. But I think tomorrow night is gonna be amazing. I think the Amani Daniel playing
Injury.
tomorrow is gonna be
Hmm.
key if she is healthy or not. Because I am not gonna lie, they're going to need her, especially going against Bean.
Well, I know
Because
Monday was senior night. She did not play. So
So
we
that
ooh,
going
injury's got to be serious if she
ooh,
didn't go for senior
she's
night.
been in the boot. She's been in the boot. When they played
yeah,
Ponchatoula, I was at the game. She was on the bench with a boot on.
yeah,
So
that,
I don't know what the injury was, but it's a lower leg injury.
yeah. You tripped
So
me out when you told me when she was hurt. I said, "What?"
That's
Could it be
it,
a high?
man.
Not,
That's you gotta be kidding me.
could
So
it be a high ankle?
I know
I don't know,
I
George.
I don't know Amani personally, but I
On the
know who our
UL.
dad is. I know who our dad is very well. He was a big time athlete at in the car. DeJuan Daniel. That is hard. That is his daughter. DeJuan Daniel was an absolute beast at the car. And I think he was a member of this. I think it was the last. No, one of the state championship teams in the '90s. He was a member of, and he actually is related to the Forges. If you ain't know,
Okay.
so so
Okay.
trust me, yeah, 'cause I was talking with him a couple years ago when Kurtz was in the semis, and we ran into each other and everything. But yeah, that's his daughter, and she is got that growth spurt from her dad. Her dad's like 6'7", but she's very good in physical. But at the same time, yeah, they need her. If her being out, Curtis is going to really play some solid defense, and they're going to have to try and get Bean in foul trouble. And I think knowing Alondra Brown that they got a lot of girls that can run, that they can shoot it a bit. They're gonna have to run the floor a little bit to really stay in the game, but not just that. They try to get some people in foul trouble for in the car.
Well, we will see. That is Thursday night and Friday night. Shaw, Zachary. You heard Coach McClinton say that he heard Shaw was the best New Orleans metro area school. Why
I
not
have a,
go and play them? What you got,
I have a,
right quick?
I have a question for you about that Shaw game Friday night. You guys have been on an incredible run. Y'all won a bunch of games, but big. You haven't really been tested for a little bit. You're gonna get tested for. I mean,
Hey man,
I,
tested. I mean, we played Liberty.
no,
I mean, hold on.
no,
They
no, no, no,
played.
no, no, no.
They played
Lately,
Liberty.
lately,
They played Catholic.
lately,
Lately.
lately.
What? Man, what you talking about? Go ahead. I'm
Legally,
listening. Though.
All right, Willis. Uh, what do you think is the key to that game Friday night for Shaw?
Number one, Zachary likes to run and gun. They like to get up the court quick.
Yep.
They ain't trying to run no half court sets. They trying to get up
No,
there,
sir.
make a move, score quick. So they got to get back on defense first, get on their men, and stop the ball. Make them run their half court sets. That's the main thing. Main
Hmm.
thing. Number,
Offensively,
offensively, we got to work inside out. They got to work his. I keep saying we. Good God, I got to stop it. I know what the
well,
school
you
is.
are an alumnus, dude. I'm
I
not
know,
going to
man,
trip
but
on you like
I
that.
can't be saying we. But
Objectivity, I get you. I
yeah,
get you.
God. But Shaw will have to work it inside out. I would like to see Kobe Butler touch the ball more. Get him involved. But these
All
past
right.
couple games, also Tristan Knockin hadn't been, one of the main guys scoring. So they got to get him going. Also, that's the main two things.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
yeah.
And
Seven
Coach
straight.
McClinton, he knows him by name, boy. He was like Red Shaw, the point guard, Kobe Butler, Tristan Knockin. He knows them by name. So
That's just a coach who knows what he's doing, and he's won a ton, and he's got a couple of state titles, has a chance to win another, a real chance to win another. Um, Look, that's going to be an arduous test for Shaw Friday night. It's one they can pass, but as you mentioned, they're going to have to find a way to make Zachary pass the ball, move the ball around. Don't go down there 7 seconds, shoot the ball. Y'all got to play face up defense. Shaw, I would say y'all, but Shaw's got to play face up defense, force Zachary to make some extra passes that they maybe not used to. Maybe press a little bit, try to press them in the half in the on the full court. I don't know if Lauren Dean likes to do that. Does he does he employ the full court press?
um, not really. Not when he's down. Yeah, he's done it.
Well,
Like
sure, everybody
fourth
does it.
quarter, close game, he's down. He's done it. But I think to do it the whole game, he's not going to do that. No, no, no.
No, okay. And just so y'all know, LSU played earlier tonight against Auburn, the number one team in the country.
They lost.
Gave them a gallon battle. Yeah, they lost 87-74. Auburn is just that team this year, it looks like. So,
Eight
So
it and so far for Shaw, it's 8 straight wins for the Eagles,
man say
mhm.
and
we
and
man say
they
we ain't
have
been tested. We got during those eight
Joe.
wins. We got Hannon twice.
George, they be handing twice. George, and here's the thing: not tested. You forgot about the McDonald 35 game.
And what
Well, they won by
happened?
36. They won by 36.
They
Yeah,
were
I
up.
know.
And it's,
They
it
were up
was a
by
tight
5
game
at
in the
halftime.
first half. They
And they
exploded the
just
second
exploded.
half.
They exploded in the second half. They scored 63 points in the second half. I
That's a
know.
different
My,
team. It's a
my,
different team.
Exactly. It
my,
looked like a team possessed in the second half.
my words, like my thing is now against Zachary, this is their biggest test since the Catholic game.
Okay.
They've been tested all year, but this is their biggest test. This is gonna tell if Shaw is the best all around team in the state. Whoever wins this game is gonna be the
It's going
best
to have
all
that
around team in
moniker.
the
Oh,
state.
hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. Let's not go there yet. And reason why I
Uh,
say that because Zachary still got to play Liberty, Catholic, and Central. So let's not say
mm,
that yet.
Yeah, the
But
gauntlet, the
Shaw got to
gauntlet
win over
awaits.
Catholic.
I'm
Shaw lost to Liberty.
listen. I'm gonna say that because guess what? If Shaw wins Friday, Shaw will be 2-1 against the Big Three in
Okay,
Baton Rouge.
but you saying that they make them the best team in the state, but
That
they
you
beat
gotta,
Catholic and they lost to Liberty.
but
But
you have
Zachary still got to play Catholic and Liberty.
that's
So
that.
if you
Not,
putting
I,
all that together,
I'm saying I understand what you're saying, but right now, if Shaw wins Friday, you gotta give Shaw the edge. Right now, they're 2-1 against the Big Three, and they have a winning record, and that's just what it is.
oh,
If
okay.
they,
So you
if
putting Shaw number 1 in your top 5? Yeah,
I
that what you
would
gonna do?
I would put them probably number two.
Oh, okay. Well, then, thank you. Then they ain't the best team in the state to you. Then there we go. Right, George?
I,
He's
I,
saying they be the
Ah,
best team in the state.
you
I,
got
I'm,
me thinking about it, though, for next week.
I'm like this. I'm like this. Maybe there's a possibility I might leapfrog Catholic. Possibility
In my opinion, they
because
should be above Cali. They beat them.
they did they did. I do agree, but
Mm,
11 wins against top 10 competition
Oh, head to head don't
over
matter.
6.
nah,
Head
I'm
to
like
head
this,
don't matter.
man.
it don't.
Look. Head to head do matter. Don't get me wrong.
You
Head to
ain't got
head.
Zachary girls. They beat Curtis.
Oh my God.
You I'm just saying. Shaw beat Cali. Or they below Cali.
Mm,
I mean,
Look.
Cali 24-1. Who's
It's
the one in 24-1?
Shaw.
Archbishop
it's a
Shaw.
Shaw. Don't get me wrong. You all right about that. I do believe head to head do matter. It do. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, overall, 7 wins against the top 10, 11 wins against the top. We're talking status of bruh, like that's an unbelievable resume for a good state team.
Yeah, you're
Dog,
right.
there's not too
A
many
good
times you
resume
see years
for a
like that.
state team. You are right. But them two teams played against each other, and who won?
And Shaw won the game. I'm not knocking it. I'm not. Listen, I agree with you big time on that. Should they be ahead of Catholic? Yes.
But
Yes,
you ain't
because
got them.
you beat them head to head. You deserve that right. You deserve that right. Maybe I might put Shaw number 1 because that is a huge game this week on the slate.
So
So
you put them above Liberty then, but they lost to Liberty. That what you saying now? You
I'm
have
I'm like this. We have to look at the opponent. It's week for week, right?
it's week
Yes.
for week, but I mean
Week
we
for week.
putting it. We looking at schedules and all that. Then we like, oh man, Liberty beat Shaw. Oh, Shaw beat Catholic. Liberty and Catholic hadn't played yet. Oh, Zachary hadn't played Liberty and Cali yet. Oh,
Yeah,
Zachary
Mm,
played Shaw.
see. The thing is, that's why it's week for week. That's why it's week for week. Like sometimes it depends on what happens in the week. And I'm like this: if Shaw wins, they might could get to number 2, maybe might get to number 1 on my top 5, and then all of a sudden the next week happens, Liberty going against such a maybe they gonna leapfrog Shaw go to number 1 because you look at Shaw's schedule, the only toughest team they're gonna have is Landry. So
If it's been rescheduled.
it's been I think I look at it, it's rescheduled. It's late in the year. I think it's the second to last game. So they have that rescheduled there.
Well,
So
it's like this. I'm gonna tell you straight up. If Shaw beat Zachary come Friday night, Shaw will still be number 2 on my list. they will not jump Liberty because Liberty beat them head to head. That is just it.
Hey, bro.
George, I know you want to say
I
something.
like that. I like what you said, Jared. I like that. That's big time respect. That's
Thank you.
big time respect.
Thank you.
And the prevalent attitude, this is what I want to say.
Go ahead.
We watch these analysts on television when they come out with the rankings and all that stuff, and they basically crap on head to head. And I'm not saying VK's doing that at all,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I hear this secret, secret kind of like, yeah, I'm a low key mess with him, all that. It's like, come on, Shaw beat Catholic head to head. Catholic's resume has been great, 24-1. But what you said, Jared, who's the one in the
It's
24?
24-1. Yeah.
Thank you. That would be Archbishop Sean Wesley Laurendine, who I'm going to make good friends with Friday night and get in his good graces. Just saying. Just saying. Um, but at the end of the day, to me, this game Friday, Shaw is still the favorite de facto in Division Two. I don't know how you don't make that team the favorite to win the whole thing. And if y'all don't make it to Lake Charles, it would be a massive disappointment based on what they have done to this point all year. The one loss they got is Liberty, and Liberty is that team,
And Sophie B.
but
Right.
and Sophie B. But Liberty has to go through that gauntlet now with Catholic and Central and all them. They got to go through that in district.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how they come out of it.
Oh yeah.
But in Division Two, Shaw, if they're not in Lake Charles by the time we get there in March, I will be absolutely flabbergasted if they don't get there.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this. I think I look at my top five and Catholic, Liberty, Shaw, and Zachary all should be in Lake Charles. I got STM number 5, and I would not be shocked
Oh,
if STM is back in Lake Charles also.
oh, and I'm glad you brought up STM. First off, to the three of us, on behalf of the Hash House Show, congratulations to
Yes,
Danny Broussard.
yes,
Congratulations to Danny Broussard for attaining one of the greatest honors you could get as a prep basketball coach. He has done so much for Louisiana. He has done so much. He gets to coach in the McDonald's All America game, which is a prestigious basketball game featuring the best players in the United States. Those kids, when they get under his tutelage, I can't wait to see it happen. Congratulations, Coach Broussard, on behalf of the Hash It Out Show.
definitely. Yeah, well
Yes.
deserved, man. Coach Broussard, man, highly respected and a great guy, a
Hmm.
nice guy, man. It's a fabulous person, yeah, and that he deserves this 100%, man. To have him coach this team, and we lose George Peppers, and Coach Charles Smith going to the Hall of Fame, man. That's wonderful. Before we get out of here, VK, um, any last words, VK, before we get out of here?
Well, we had a real good show tonight. You know what I'm saying? Talking hoops and everything else tonight. Man, shout out going to the Xavier University girls basketball team. They had a great start, 18-0. They finally went down. Uh, they finally went down last. Let me see. They finally went down yesterday, losing their first game to LSU Shreveport 58-56.
Wow,
So
2 point loss, but
2 point
they are a
loss.
good team. They're a
But
good
they are
team.
a really good team. Coach Bull Browder, hopefully we'll have him on soon. But they're off to a very unbelievable start and everything else. And Xavier is gonna continue to push forward. Big shout out also going to Paula Lee, the head coach of the Baton Rouge Community College women's basketball team,
Yeah,
last week winning her 200 game at the institution.
it's a 200 day
Congratulations.
today.
Yep. 200 wins, 200 wins, 200 episodes. But congratulations, Coach Lee.
Hmm.
You worked so hard and everything else. A long time. That's a legend in herself. She's been coaching a long time, especially in this state. She's been everywhere. So congratulations to Coach Paula Lee winning 200 wins at Baton Rouge Community College. But we're looking forward to some great things tomorrow with Curtis and Edna Carr Friday. Two of the best teams in the state going against each other Friday night. Marrero is going to be the place to be. And I'm gonna say this about Shaw. If Shaw does not win Division Two, they got some good, capable teams that can challenge Shaw, but this is their time. This is really their time. If they don't win it all, something is seriously wrong. But we'll see what happens Friday in that big test.
George Peppers, any last words?
I mean, these next 2 days are going to be fabulous basketball, and we get to see high level basketball, and that's a beautiful thing. Uh, it is the week before the Super Bowl, the call before the storm per se, because everybody will be here by the weekend. Teams will get here on Sunday uh, to prepare in advance. And if you've been under a rock, it's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs playing Super Bowl 59. Get to see a potential chance at history, or maybe some revenge. Well served, Philly. Because 2 years ago, Jareth Bradbury, if that's a marginal holding call, if they don't call it, if they don't call that, we might be talking about a different outcome. You know, and this Super Bowl is going to bring up great debate as far as dynasty and who's got the greatest dynasty and whatever, and that's a debate we can have down the road. Um, but this weekend, if you're looking for something to do, stop telling me you're gonna watch the flag football or the whatever
Pro
it is
Bowl.
they're doing this weekend. It's the Pro Bowl, yeah, okay, the skills challenge or whatever. I'm looking forward to next week and obviously the Super Bowl, but the NFL honors, who's going to win the big awards, and really the vote totals of how the MVP race is going to play out. Because, and it's going to be a shame that Saquon Barkley doesn't win the MVP. But if you've seen these playoffs, he has been a man amongst boys. He has been destructive. And as a Giants fan, it kills me to see this. And every time I see the video of Hard Knocks where Joe Shane is and whoever that Mama Luke is of an assistant talking about ain't nobody gonna take Saquon. I really want to do, and I've got pretty good hands. Just reach through and just squeeze everything out of him. I mean, as a Giants fan, to see that dude doing this for the Philadelphia Eagles, one of our biggest rivals, that hurts. And it's going to hurt next Sunday when I see him do it. And we'll all, obviously, the three of us will have picks for the Super Bowl, who's going to win it, keys to the game and whatnot. But this weekend, and I know we don't talk about this on the Hash It Out show, but we're all very ardent fans of it. The Royal Rumble is this weekend at Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. So guess what you're going to see? Pat McAfee, talking up Indy and all that stuff. Um, but next week, at some point next week, the WWE is supposed to be having a press conference to potentially announce WrestleMania 42 in 2026 is coming to the Big Easy. That will be the highlight next week. But on that note, gentlemen, it's been fun. 200 episodes. Looking forward to what you got planned for 250. Um, I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but before you know it, 250 will be here. And I'm
He'll be here.
looking
He'll
forward
be
to being with you guys tomorrow and Friday.
definitely. He'll be here soon.
Word
No
up.
doubt.
Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in today. Go ahead, share this. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Tell them subscribe. Tell them click that follow button. We need all that. We want everybody to tune into the Hash It Out show as we bring you the best in high school sports in the state of Louisiana. I want to thank Keith Vasquez for joining us to talk about the Walk of Generations fashion show and the first Indigenous girl celebrity flag football game that is happening here that is being hosted by the Native Youth Foundation. So thank you to Keith Vasquez for joining us tonight. Those events are on February 4th and February 5th, Tuesday and Wednesday. Also, we would like to thank, we would like to thank Coach Jonathan McClinton for joining us, the head coach for Zachary. Um, Looking for a great game come Friday night as they play the Archbishop Shaw Eagles. But we'll let you know what day we'll be back next week because supposedly we may be at the Walk of Generations fashion show, and we may be at the Celebrity Indigenous flag football game. That is Tuesday and Wednesday. So we will let you know we'll let you know soon. Might have to do a Monday show. We'll see. But we will let you all know when we'll be back. So we'll be here. Trust me, trust me, trust me. But for VK Jones and for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. We shall see y'all sometime soon next week.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985-266-0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1-week free special. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
All right, folks, as we kick off tonight's football game, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important as a winning playbook, your financial future. Kaylin Parker, a financial advisor with Magnolia Wealth Strategies, is here to help you stay financially fit off the field. From retirement and estate planning to investment management and even insurance needs, Kaylin Parker is here to help you. Reach out to Kaylin at 504-613-2161 or at cparker@financialguide.com. Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like,